What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the CU for a huge channel. You join me, it's midnight here, it is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Immediate match reaction. I haven't seen any highlights of the game, so I'm just going off what I watched live in person. But Carlisle United snatching a late point against Peterborough in a deserved point for Carlisle. A really good, solid performance from Carlisle United. We made a few changes to the team. It looked like we went with a 4-3-3 formation. Joe Garn through the middle with Maguire and Gibson on the wings. Thomas Hawley, of course, returning into the team. Really good to see Thomas Hawley back in the squad. Alvin McCarmon coming into the squad. Sam Lavelle being captain as Huntington dropped to the bench. And I think these changes helped the game for Carlisle. I think just a few players to mention before we get into the sort of the full review. I'll start. Alvin McCarmon looked really lively and really wanting to fight for an opportunity to start next week. You got Sam Lavelle, who's been solid for the last few weeks, but looked solid again today. Real captain performance from him. Really good to see. Hope he has a good rest of his birthday as well. Sean Maguire, some of the runs that Sean Maguire makes is absolutely unbelievable. You can just play a ball over the top of him and you'll know he'll be in and about the area. Jordan Gibson speaks for himself at the minute. A really creative player, and he's showing the best side of himself. And then, of course, Thomas Hawley looked really confident and really comfortable in the goals today. And maybe dropping him to the bench and showing him, actually, you've got a bit of competition was maybe the best thing for him. Simpson was praising him in training. Apparently he's been louder, he's been talking more, and he was commanding today. He was coming out on corners, catching the ball. He was making himself a nuisance. He got fouled at least twice off one of them corners. The player getting in his way and putting on his shirt. But he's punching the corners, he's catching the corners, he's commanding them. He was shouting at Mellish to leave the ball or to play it back. Jack Armour gave him the ball back a couple of times in the tight area and he cleared it. I know a lot of people say about his kicking. I don't think he kicks a single ball out of play today. All the balls were direct down the middle. Really solid performance from Thomas Hawley. Thomas Hawley was actually my man of the match. Carlisle gave their man of the match to Jordan Gibson, which I have no complaints about. If Carlisle didn't give Jordan Gibson it, I probably would have given Gibson it. But I think Thomas Hawley was a very strong shout for man of the match as well. I thought he was absolutely excellent today. And hopefully he can stay on as our goalkeeper past this suspension for Jock Lanson as well. But that's just my opinion. Carlisle made 3 substitutions during the game as Terry Blade, Ryan Edmondson and Luke Plange. And we deserved the point in the game for sure. Thomas Hawley made a few good saves in the first half, a couple of good saves in the second half. Not much note in the first half. Johnston Clark-Harris had a chance really early on. He put it on the training pitch. Really surprised about, because Johnson Clark-Harris is a top quality striker, especially at this level. And I thought if we were going to give him that many chances in the game, we were going to struggle throughout the game, because you can't give a player of that quality chance after chance. I thought Peterborough looked like a well-drilled team. They knew what they were doing. Obviously, they got the playoffs last season. Maybe the less said about them, the better. But I thought Peterborough looked really dangerous in the attack. I thought they had real good pace up front with the with Clark Harris and is it Mason Clark as well. I think they were troubling us with that pace, and it was a little bit worrying, to be fair. But Carlisle handled it well and stayed in the game as long as we needed to. A few talking points as well, of course, that second half performance from the referee. And I don't really sort of blame the referees or anything, and I'm not saying that the referees cost us 3 points. I'm not saying the referees cost us anything of the game, because at the end of the day he hasn't given them, and you've got to move on from that. Frustrating, yes, but you've just got to move on. And the Sean Maguire one, I haven't seen a replay of any of these, by the way, so don't take my word as the law. But the Sean Maguire one looked a clear penalty from where I was. I thought that one was a penalty. There was a handball incident that Paul Simpson was very adamant was a penalty. I didn't actually see it from the angle where I was standing, so I couldn't really make a judgment on that, if I'm being honest. And there was one with the pulled shirt. Now, the picture that Carlisle used as their end graphic, I thought was quite amusing to do that, and it looks worse in the picture. I don't think that would have been a penalty, if I'm being honest. that's just my opinion. People might disagree with that one. And then there was one with a blade where a blade went down and just never getting the penalty for that. It was a never a thing. But the referee's performance, I think, was summed up this for me anyway. Callum Guy was running down the touchline. He's been pulled back on the shoulder. The referee hasn't given a free kick. He hasn't played advantage. He's just let it go. Callum Guy's then screamed at the linesman. He screamed at the referee. And the referee hasn't booked him. Now, I'm not saying I want our players to get booked, because obviously I don't want our players to get booked. But I think it speaks volumes when the referee basically is saying, you know what, I've messed up there. Because Callum Guy gets a yellow card for that any day of the week. He's a yellow card offence if you shout in the referees. Like, you know, if you get close to them and start giving them a bit of your mind. It is honestly a yellow card. So the fact that he hasn't given the yellow card for me is the referee going, you know what, you were fouled there. But moving on from the referee's performances, Callum Guy gave away a free kick just after that, and their player scores for me. Nothing really Thomas Hawley could do, to be honest. A decent header, quite close range. And then, of course, Carlisle kept pushing for that equaliser, and it came very late on in the 96th minute, with Jordan Gibbs to get the ball on the edge of the box as we were sort of all-out attack at that point. Takes a shot, deflects. Peterborough commentators say it was undeserved. I don't know what game they were watching. That was a definitely deserved one. And, you know, good finish from Gibson. He was absolutely quality tonight, as he has been for most of the season, to be fair to him. But Carlisle take a point against a well-drilled and a decent side in Peterborough. What do you guys think of that performance? Let me know in the comments down below. I have been Seawolf4. There is some clips in this video, of course, including both the goals as well from the fan perspective. So I hope you enjoy the clips. And they have been timestamped at the start of the video if you want to just skip ahead and watch them. But for now anyway, guys, enjoy the clips. I've been Seawolf4. Why not like and subscribe to help the channel grow? But I'll see you in the next one.
loud in a bed, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light.